Medical disclaimer. This video is for informational purposes. It does not replace the medical advice of a trained doctor. Seek medical advice before beginning any treatment plan. Hey, welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. And let's start by taking a look at this. I'm 5.8, which is a completely turnaround. And I think this is because last night I had to change my site because I was going up in the middle of the night and I didn't know why. And I saw just before bed I started to go up. So I took a chance and changed the site, and my cannula that delivers the insulin was tucked up. So I put another one. That didn't go well, and it was all kind of screwed up. And finally, the third try, got it in. Today I want to discuss type 1 diabetes and mental health. I don't want it to sound like, oh, you got type 1 diabetes, oh, you have mental health issues. No. Mental health is pretty well burnout. That's sort of the number one feeling where you just sort of give up on giving insulin, taking care of yourself. And I honestly kind of have to say that I had some problems. Well, I don't know if it was actual burnout. I've told this story before. I got a brand new typewriter one birthday, and I had been keeping different records of my blood sugars, on a notepad here, or nothing concise. So I thought I'd go through and type them all out for my doctor. Really put some effort into it. I went and saw my doctor, and all I got was, these aren't right. They should be just like that. You should just be writing amounts in there. And I kind of looked at him and said, I'm not just writing amounts. And he just gave me the third degree. And when I left there, I think that was the last time I saw him. I didn't want to go back to him. And I figured, oh, well, I can do this all on my own. I know what my blood sugar is. So I went off. I didn't say, oh, well, I'm not going to have insulin. At least I took insulin. I eventually found a new doctor because my prescriptions were up. And then I started seeing my GP, but I never went higher than that. Burnout is, or my understanding, let's put it this way, a burnout is where you just can't handle it at all, and you just kind of push it all aside. So it's important that type 1 diabetics shouldn't feel burnt out. Another thing I've heard is, and I spoke about this before, is young women who just, oh, I've got to look good for this summer. Oh, and they find out that sort of when they're diagnosed, their blood sugars went high, but did they slim right down? And it's sort of, it becomes so much more of a problem because you have chances of going into DKA, your diabetes go out of whack. You're opening yourself up for more complications. Now, I'm not going to say, it should just be easy. You should just be able to give yourselves shots and then everything will be fine. Just give yourself your medication. Well, feelings play a very important role. You've got to feel as a diabetic that you are trusted and that you were actually listened to. That day with that doctor, I just felt I wasn't being listened to. And I just stopped going. For years, I took care of myself, but I didn't take care of myself. I'd end up in the hospital. I was working nights and I end up in the hospital. And looking back at it, how much better things could have got. I ended up working as a trainer in the company I was working for. And that's when things turned around. I was in pretty much office type settings. I got there, started taking care of myself, doing blood sugars, but I did end up in the hospital with what they thought was a foot infection. It wasn't a foot infection. It was a complication. And in that visit, I started seeing an endocrinologist. And I lucked out. Most of the endocrinologists at that hospital are great. But I think when patients are feeling burned out, trust is a really big part of it. And if you don't have a team you trust, sometimes it's the luck of the draw. At the visit, I got a really good endocrinologist. I got introduced to a diabetes educator. And things all kind of started to fit into place. Well, the best they could with me, but if your son or your daughter is seeing a doctor and they really don't like it, and, well, maybe your doctor needs to suggest someone else. Personalities, I know my eye doctor, he's since retired, but my ophthalmologist, I would go in, the whole place was just like conveyor belt. You come in, you check in, you get your drops, you see him, and then you could go. And it used to be you had to wait 2 hours in between. but I really kind of got along with him. I have a new eye doctor, and from what I see, pardon the pun, I like him. So I think your doctor kind of gets to know you, and when he helps you develop your team, then things maybe seem to work out. But if you get a doctor or anyone on your diabetes team that you're not comfortable with, you have a right to speak up. Looking back, there were a couple of times I should have spoken up, but looking back at it now, they were right. And back then, oh, I know everything, blah, 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 blah. But now, if I had seen them, I would be fine with it. It's a funny story. I had this endocrinologist who I did not like him, but then again, I was used to my original one, and I was kind of moved over to be with him because I think it was more for really problematic. And yeah, he was the one that taught me to ask questions. And I think I learned a hell of a lot. And education can help with the burnout. Yes, you can learn. Yes, you can become resilient to it. Yes. But don't, if you're not happy with a person, just ask your GP for a new one. It's important that you see your doctor. You're taking your medication. You're keeping your blood sugars in control. You need a team that will support. And any part of the team that doesn't support, you're gonna just kind of be left there. Oh, okay. So realize that this is a lifelong commitment and you had no choice in it. You didn't say, hey, I'll sign up to be a diabetic. And you need a medical team that really understands that and will help you along the way. And if you don't have a team that you don't feel you can trust, you need to find a team that encompasses you, that, okay, yes, I realize this is such a burden. I don't know if I could do it. Well, maybe you do need help with it. And if you do, so what? If you need help with it, you haven't failed. People so often are kind of afraid. Oh, the doctor's gonna look bad. He's gonna be so upset. Oh. If you are actually trying and you're not getting the blood sugars that you need, well, he and the team should be working out new ways of doing things that will make you feel better. And it may just one day, it's not such a burden anymore. and you're able to get up. It may right now seem to be way off, but don't you worry. You will succeed. Take one step at a time. Get into as many people as can help you. And, there's a lot of times we put up stumbling blocks of, oh, well, yes, I was told I had to do it that way. And it hasn't really improved. Well, talk about it. There may be stuff that you've been missing. And with that, go out there, make it the best, do your best you can. And get a doctor and a team that will help you succeed. They're not ganging up against you. They're there to help you. And with that, talk to you soon. Bye.